Hello friends. Now I explain the second concept in our training session 2, top-down modular design approach through a case study. In this context, one very important point I have to explain to you. If you want to evolve as a programming professional, one basic quality is you should have subject-oriented communication skills. If you are able to communicate effectively, then you will grow as a leader. You can find real life leaders also who can speak well. They are evolved as leaders. And number two is you may become good trainer or good faculty. That is very important. Subject oriented communication skills are very much required. For that purpose, simple technique I am telling you. If you technically learn all the elements and all that, you may not develop that much communication skills. If you learn every concept from the real life angle, then you can easily understand that and own it, and you can explain to others very easily, and you will be evolved as a good teacher, no doubt about that, and that you have to experience practically. For that purpose, I am introducing a unique model. Whatever may be the technical concept in programming, I explain through real life angle. It may be top down modular approach, bottom up approach, encapsulation, abstraction, uh, polymorphism, or any concept you say, then from real life angle I can explain. Because of this technique, one time watch is enough to own the concept. That point you have to understand. That's why I am explaining. If you explain this concept technically and all that, like others, then you may have an abstract understanding. Now, from real life angle, if I explain, in no time, just a matter of 15 minutes, you can own this concept. You can understand and own the spirit of this concept. Okay, for this purpose, I have taken two real life cases. Actually, these are massive one. Every one of you should know. One is constructing building. Second one is organizing a marriage function. As far as two are concerned, you know that. I need not give any big explanation and all that. Constructing building means immediately hundreds of activities come into your brain. In the same way, organizing marriage function is much sensitive, because in case of constructing building, certain failures are there and all that. You have to incur loss, financial loss, or otherwise it may be delayed. In case of organizing marriage function, any lapses happen, then those are everlasting. Suppose for some VIPs, if you forgot to give invitations and all that, the bitter feeling is everlasting. Okay, like that many things are there. I need not explain about them. That's why through the two cases, I am going to explain top-down modular design approach. You can very easily grasp. Simple one-time watch of this lecture is enough. Okay, first let us take up building construction. Building construction, just to think of, you never construct a building also. Building construction means hundreds of activities come into your brain. Okay, hundreds of activities. Suppose without appointing a contractor, if you want to construct a building, your brain is filled with full of chaos. Where to start, where to end, which activity first, which activity next, you never know that. Now I explain through top-down modular approach how you can tackle that very easily. I show you. Now we see building construction. Building construction, as I told you, hundreds of activities are there. Now let us classify them. Already I told you, this is the best model. You are flying high in the sky. Okay. Then if you look at the ground, everything is blur. You cannot see anything clearly. In the same way, when you want to construct a building, then if you are a layman, everything is blur. Where to start, where to end, which activity first, which activity next, how to organize them, how to negotiate, all that you do not know. Now calm down. You can have some clarity, better clarity, better clarity, better clarity. Once you land on the ground, then everything with a naked eye also, you can find everything. Am I right or not? In the same way, in top-down, using the top-down modular approach, if you take up any programming task or real-life task also, this is a real-life task only. Now we see hundreds of activities are classified into only three groups. Now, What are the three groups? Approvals, appointments, and purchases. Now we see. You know, regardless of your knowledge, you know what are the activities in constructing a building. Just at least abstractly, you know. These hundreds of activities, just to classify, you can find only three groups. First one is approvals, second one is appointments, third one is purchases. Actually, whenever you want to construct a building, you must take certain approvals. Without approvals, if you construct a building, you have to pay a penalty at present or in future. It is a risk. So, certain approvals are required. Thereafter, several people you have to appoint. If you appoint, and by collective contribution of all those people only, your house is constructed, your building is constructed. Third one is purchases. Several types of purchases you have to make. Without material, how can you construct? Now, I classified them into three. Just to think of, if you can find out any activity which is not covered by three, please write a comment. You cannot find. Only thing is here, you already have a plot and you have sufficient money. That is the prerequisite that you have. Now I am talking about constructing a building only. That you have to take into consideration. Any number of n number of activities are classified only into three groups. Now see, earlier you didn't have clarity. Now you got some clarity. Only thing is, three activities if you perform and all that, your building is constructed. Okay. Now let us consider the three activities one by one. This is the way. Now we see. First one is approvals. Approvals, you know that in a town or city, if you have to construct and all that, certain approvals you have to take. One is from town planning you have to take, and electricity purpose, electricity board you have to take, and water supply and sewerage and all that, drainage purpose and all that, certain authority you have to take, and it is special area like cantonment and all that. Then you have to take some approvals depending on the region and all that. Some special approvals may be required. Maximum 4-5 approvals you have to take. That is the essential prerequisite. Otherwise, you have to pay penalty. Okay, that is over. Now you got clarity. Now you see that. Next one, what is that? Appointments. Already I listed many times. Now you see that you have to appoint several people like architect, engineer, a mason, transporter, painter, plumber, welder, interior decorator, etc. Around 10 plus 10 to 15 types of specialists you have to engage. Collective contribution of all these specialists, your house got constructed. Okay, that is obvious. And thereafter, what is the third activity? Purchases. We have to make several purchases. Several purchases, all purchases you need not do it in the beginning. Actually, certain basic materials are there, certain intermediate materials are there, certain finishing materials are there. Basic materials are cement, sand, bricks, etc. and all that you have to take. After that, wood, basic electrical material, basic plumbing material, etc. you have to purchase. At the final stage, you have to purchase finishing material like paints, floor tiles, that decorative material, interior decorative material, all that you have to purchase. In different stages you purchase. Now, a complete chart is before you. Now you see, how much time, if you are a layman also, if you have this bent of mind, then you can prepare it one day. Otherwise, think and do that. Otherwise, after completion of that, you go to somebody who is having experience, or your neighbor or friend, and show this thing. They give you wherever gaps are there, they suggest you. Then you can complete the full chart, and having this chart in your pocket, one by one you can complete it systematically. That point you have to understand. Ultimately, once you construct your building, that means once you implement that, you become an expert, and you will be evaluated as a contractor also. That is the true spirit of the top-down modular approach. Okay, already I told you one more great example: organizing a marriage function. Actually, constructing a building is a massive activity. In the same way, organizing a marriage function is also much bigger and very sensitive. Already I told you, without any lapse, everything should be organized very carefully. Very carefully. However, without seeing this chart, and if you can draw this thing, then that is good. Actually, I tried in several colleges. No single student Out of thousands, no single student could draw all these things. But they should know. It is a matter of common sense. Common sense. If you own this concept, in my marriage, what are required? Just you think, take your own time and write that in top-down modular approach. That is the approach. Then only you will be evaluated as a leader. That is not matter of intelligence, a matter of common sense. That point you have to understand. Now we see, just to see the chart, however, I briefly explain. First, what are required? Accommodation, invitations, catering, cash management, post-marriage activities. These are the main activities. Thereafter, accommodation. Accommodation means different accommodations like marriage hall, guest rooms, etc. Invitations are personal and mailing. Some close people and all that personally you have to go and give, and other people and all that simply mail it or over phone call. You can make it. So that depends on that. Second, transport. Transport also different types: outstation transport, local transport, etc. and all that. Thereafter, purchases. Purchases different types are there. You know that ornaments, cloth and other material, etc. and all that. And thereafter, catering and all that they will take care of. And supervision. Actually, supervision is very important. Otherwise, there will not be any coordination and all that. Ultimately, whatever amount of time you spend, money spent, it may go waste. The cash management. Some people who are responsible and experienced should be interested in this cash management. Hospitality. Hospitality, all these are there also. Hospitality is missing and all that. Everything goes waste. Nobody will give respect to you. It remains as a bitter feeling. Thereafter, customary mini active depending on the religion and all that. Different customary activities are there. You may not have knowledge from experienced person. You can get the list of that, and you have to implement. That is very very important. There are post marriage. Actually, after marriage is over and all that, several things are there. The very thing, because nobody will be at your help and all that. Then you have to organize it independently, and ultimately you have to finish it properly. So in this manner, just own that. This you know that, and think without seeing the chart. You try to write that. Thereafter, review that. Why I have missed and all that. So once you are able to do this, thereafter your brain start thinking in this angle. It helps you a lot. That only I am telling you spirit of the concept. You have to grasp the spirit of the concept. That point you have to understand and proceed.